To say I'm surprised to even be sitting here today recording this podcast, bit of an understatement really, because considering I still thought I'd been sitting in London by now, in an airport, or in a hotel, either way. But I'm here. I got a lot to talk about, got a lot to get off my chest, got a lot of questions to answer from you guys today as well. And it's just going to be one of those episodes where, I'm glad I have this podcast so I can get this all off my chest. Right, let's go. Welcome back to the Moor Army podcast for another episode, guys. Hope you're all doing well out there. Welcome back for another episode of ranting and raving and chaos and the usual stuff here on this Thursday's edition of the podcast. Bit of a different podcast today, guys, considering the usual scheduled Thursday podcast, considering the week that I've had. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I was sitting here trying to make notes this morning of what to talk about. And honestly, it's just been one thing after another. And I just thought, you know something? Fuck it. I'm just going to sit down, turn on the mic, shoot from the hip, shoot the breeze, talk stories, and just talk about what the hell's been going on the last few days. I'll answer some questions. I'll just get into it. So a bit of an unscripted, off the hook, should we say, off the usual schedule Moor Army podcast today. What a weekend we've had, but we're going to get into that shortly. But before we go into any more in the podcast, guys, apologies for last Tuesday, been no podcast. Obviously, I'm sure you probably saw on my social media the reason why there's been no Moor Army podcast, because of our situation in London. But more on that later on, so I do apologise. We will return to our usual schedule finally, starting next Tuesday. Tuesday and Thursday we'll be back to get back to the usual schedule of the 2 episodes a week of the Moor Army podcast. Before we go any further in today's episode, I just want to get into the usual stuff. I'd like to get out of the way, as I like to say, before we move on to the episode here today. If you are a regular listener, or if you're new to the Moor Army podcast and you would like to get in touch with the program or the podcast, whatever you want to call it, you can by the following methods. You can contact us by the email address, which is moorarmypodcast@yahoo.com. Also, the old social media feeds, which is, first of all, Facebook, the Moor Army YouTube channel Facebook page. Drop us a wee like on there, would appreciate it. Also, you can contact me directly on Instagram, which is official Matthew Moor on Instagram. I'm also on Threads, but I don't really post much on there, to be honest with you. I haven't really started posting more. I am available on TikTok, by the way, now, guys. I'm starting to post more videos on TikTok. I actually posted 2 videos yesterday from our trip to London. I'm going to start posting more videos on TikTok to try and get more people to share the love of the Moor Army, whether it be the vlogs or the podcasts. You can follow me on TikTok, official Matthew Moor on TikTok as well. And if you want to get all your Moor Army merchandise for the podcast and more, Moor Army, and also some of Lewis's merchandise is on there as well. You can go and get some now, which a lot of you have done recently, which I really appreciate. And obviously check out all the previous vlogs and all the stuff. It's basically the Moor Army hub. moorarmy.co.uk. That's moorarmy.co.uk. Well, I don't even know how long this podcast is even going to fucking last today, to be honest with you. I'm just sort of sitting here on this Thursday morning, and I got up this morning, scratching my head, going, right, I got a podcast to record today. What the fuck am I going to talk about? Well, no, I'm going to talk about, obviously, my trip to London with Lewis, which was an experience. And I was sitting there thinking, by the time I get that all out of the way and then start answering questions and stuff, I'm actually going to have enough allocated time to talk about what the hell's been going on in the news lately. And I just sort of thought, you know something, maybe just put the news thing on the shelf till Monday or Tuesday next week, because there's been so much going on I want to talk about. some things have actually made me laugh in the news recently. The likes of Donald Trump's fucking mugshot. Some of that stuff I've seen going on, all the stuff going on in politics. Storms in America have been ripping through Florida, which is fucking insane. I've seen all that there. But I want to get into the stuff that's been happening to us. And some of you obviously out there who listen to the podcast love listening to me telling stories. And this is going to be a good one for you. So it is. London. Lewis and I were off to London. We were away to London last weekend, and off the bat, before I go any further, I want to say hello to everybody who stopped us. We can't even go to fucking Wembley Stadium. We're getting stopped. Met a lot of people there who watched the YouTube channel, listened to the podcasts. So anybody who did stop us and say hi, nice to meet you all. It's a really, really cool meeting you all. In fact, you're going to a 90,000 seater fucking stadium and there's people there who recognise you, which is great. No, London, it was an experience again. As you all know, we were there at the start of July. Lewis and I were there for two shows at the O2 and done. And here's another thing too as well, guys. I want to apologise for as well. I keep apologising for things that just fucking this last couple of weeks, my life's just been chaotic. Before I went to London, I was supposed to put up the fucking tour video of London. Lewis and I going around all the big things in London, which I still haven't done. But I want to try and get that up this weekend, 100%, because I need to get it out. So went back to London, flew out early on Sunday morning. By the way, we were out there wanting to know why we were going to London. We were going to Wembley Stadium on Sunday night to watch they're claiming it's the biggest professional wrestling paid attendance show in the history of the world. We were going to Wembley Stadium. We got a package through the company who were putting on the show, and we flew off Sunday morning. 7 a.m. flight, which sucked balls at that time in the morning. I have an hour flight this fucking Sunday morning too, which I'm hoping goes ahead according to schedule, but more on that later. So what we got Sunday morning, went to bed early. Friend of ours took us to the airport, and we got to the airport around about just after 5 a.m. Got in, obviously had to get myself a coffee. Simple as that. One thing you gotta know about me is when I wake up in the morning, I need to have fucking coffee. If I don't have coffee, I will be pissed. I'm kidding. No, I need coffee, especially if I'm going on a flight. So we got all onto the plane, flew to London, doing really well. So we're trying to find this fucking place, Cricklewood or something it's called, was dead in London. And I says to Lewis, right, Lewis, get the map thing out on your phone there, and we'll check what trains we have to get, tube station we have to get, whatever else train to get. And whatever way he worked it out the longer way to get to the fucking place, and it was an absolute disaster. You probably watch the travel vlog on YouTube now. It's available there. We ended up getting fucking 3 trains, and oh my god, it was an absolute nightmare to get to Cricklewood. But we got there. Not a bad wee spot, I must say. We sort of like typical London style town. You know what I mean? It was just one of those wee London, but the hotel we were staying in, which was absolutely beautiful. It was a really cool hotel. It was about 2.5 miles away from the stadium, which was not too bad. But we got there in the end. Cricklewood. Cricklewood. Crickle Wood. Cricklewood in London. Nice wee spot. Friendly people as well. But when we got to the hotel, we couldn't get checked at the 2 o'clock, which was a frippin' nightmare. We actually arrived there early in the morning. We arrived there about 10 o'clock in the morning, believe it or not. So we come outside, and it was like, Lewis, what the hell are we going to do here for a couple of hours? He goes, Dad, let's go out for a walk. Let's go and see if we can find somewhere to go and do something, and we'll go and get some breakfast and whatnot. And I was like, cool. So went down the road. Well, I didn't even have to go down the fucking road. We just literally walked to the bottom. Next door was McDonald's. So I took Lewis in for some breakfast. I had a coffee, because I wasn't obviously feeling that hungry. So it's just sort of obviously parted about and stuff like that there. And then we could finally get checked into the hotel. We got ourselves a shower and everything else, and everything was going according to plan. Staff at the hotel were friendly. Everything was great. Met some wrestling fans from all around Europe. So we finally thought, right, we'll book an Uber. Fuck it, we'll get an Uber. I'm not getting trains and buses anymore. We'll get an Uber. The Wembley Stadium, which cost about 10 quid, which wasn't too bad, considering, 3 miles up the road. So we booked an Uber, got ourselves right next to the stadium, and everything was going according to plan. Walked up to the stadium, met people from everywhere, all around Europe. People from Germany, France, Spain, even people from the likes of Chile. People from Australia flew to London just to watch this fucking show. This was like if you don't know anything about or watches wrestling at all, you've probably heard of WrestleMania, which is a huge show where, people from all around the world fly to it. You know what I mean? I've been to WrestleMania many a time over the years in different states across the United States, but this was a big show. And the most important thing is the fact that it was held in the UK and it was held at Wembley Stadium. I mean, Lewis and I were at a show last September in Cardiff and it drew 60,000 fans. This one's even bigger. So, anyway, but I want to tell you a story. Before we got to, before we even left the hotel, we had our tickets obviously for what section we were put in for a package deal, and we had a hotel sorted out and everything else, and I'm just sitting there faffing about on my phone, whatever it is, and waiting and whatever else. This is actually just before we checked in, and I got this email from the package people saying, if you would like to upgrade your tickets for today, they are available. And I thought this was a fucking wind up, and I'm going to myself, there's no way. So I said to Liz, go on the Ticketmaster and see what tickets are left for the event. And Lewis was like, Dad, there's a few available near ringside. And I thought, okay, but probably fucking stupid money, because whenever we went on to buy them, they were mega bucks, And Lewis was like, no, Dad, seriously, there's tickets available. I was like, okay, cool. And I went back into the email, clicked on the link, and there they were. Literally right beside the ring. There was four or five rows, then there was a wee barrier off, and then there was a couple more rows back, and that's where we were. Ringside. Literally fucking ringside. Guys, I know you probably don't watch wrestling out there or whatever, but to watch our experience this event in the middle of Wembley Stadium in front of nearly 82,000 people, go and watch the electric atmosphere from that event. We had live music, we had wrestling, we had entertainment, we had everything you could think of in one show. And it was fucking incredible. What an experience. I mean, I've been to WrestleManias, I've had great experiences. I've been almost close to the ring at a WrestleMania, and I had my photograph taken at ringside at WrestleMania after the show. But I've never actually been there during the show so close before. And I've been ringside for wrestling shows over the years. Jesus Christ, I used to wrestle for 5 fucking years myself, so I know what it's like. But the fact is that we were so close to a major company in the world, so close to the ring, live on TV around the world. And we were on TV, the camera so many times, and Lewis had his signs, and it was just an unbelievable experience. You see us singing along. There's live music performances. You see me and Lewis singing along to it. Most importantly, Lewis got to see his favourite wrestlers live, and they saw his signs that he made for them, and he was over the moon. And you go to my Instagram, the Facebook, YouTube page and all that there, you'll see Lewis's reaction. He was over the fucking moon. He was ecstatic. And even before we went to the event, Lewis was sharing stuff on Instagram stories, and one of the wrestlers who, for the tag team that he watches, shared it and loved it and shared it on his story, and that just made his weekend complete. He's a big fan of these two guys called The Acclaimed, and one of them's a rapper, and he comes out and he literally takes the piss. I mean, this guy does not give a shit. This is more of an adult-based rap, should we say. He takes the piss out of politicians, and when he came out of Wembley Stadium, he took the piss out of Prince Andrew. He took the piss out of Meghan Markle, which I thought was fucking awesome, because you all know here in the Mirror Army podcast, I don't fucking like that woman. He takes the piss out of presidents. He takes the piss out of what's going on in the world right now. He was taking the piss out there for a long time about COVID and about how fake it was and all the shit that goes on in the world. He slabbers about what's going on in the news and about dodgy things that are going on, like Donald Trump and Sleepy Joe Biden and all that shit. Oh, this guy is incredible, the way he makes up these raps. and he done it at Wembley Stadium, and Lewis was over the moon. He was chuffed. He was so glad to see them. So I'll go back to the story at hand. I was sitting in the hotel and I got the tickets, and when I told Lewis that we were sitting near ringside, Lewis he actually nearly wet himself in the middle of the lobby at the hotel. So we got to Wembley Stadium, went down on the floor. Unbelievable experience. Fucking class. It was a great show, guys. We had an absolute ball. Everything went according to plan. Only problem was, whenever the show was over, trying to get back to the hotel was a fucking nightmare. We were trying to book an Uber for fucking ages. We couldn't get one anywhere. And the prices they were charging for an Uber, some Ubers were looking like 48 quid that we paid a tenner earlier on the day. And I'm like, I ain't fucking paying that shit. So I took Lewis off after the show, did a wee place down the road and got him something to eat, and we sat and chilled out for a bit, let the crowds disappear for a bit, and then we finally got an Uber. We got an Uber for around about 18 quid, which wasn't too bad. So I got back to the hotel, got a pretty good sleep, and the plan was, I got talked about this in the last podcast, was to get up the next day and go into London itself and do Oxford Street, do Piccadilly or Trafalgar Square, and all just the places that we didn't get doing in July. That was the plan. But I woke up on the Monday morning and got a shower and got myself ready and packed up and stuff like that there, and I was just saying to myself, right, I'll just flick on the TV here in the hotel room. I'm getting ready and stuff like that, and I come up on the news that some flights were being cancelled from airports in London. Not even just London, everywhere. And I'm thinking, oh fuck me, they're going to go on strike again or something like that. So I went on the EasyJet app. That's who I flew with, EasyJet. And I'm flicking through the fucking app, and it says our flight home wasn't until 20 past 10 at night. So that gave us a load of time to go into the Oxford Street and see the shops, and go into Trafalgar Square and get loads of pictures taken and do a vlog and enjoy the experience and whatnot. And I was just sort of sitting there, and I was like, right, I'll check the EasyJet app here. So I pulled the EasyJet up and was looking at my phone, and I was like, okay, our flight's now showing 3 a.m. Who the fuck flies home locally at 3 a.m. in the morning? The only time you ever really fly home at 3 a.m. in the morning if you're flying home from the States or some parts of Europe or whatever. And I'm going to myself, there's no way that's right. Maybe it's just a fault with the app. Forget about it. So I got showered and dressed and checked out of the hotel and whatnot. And I said to Lewis, right, we'll go and try and find somewhere for breakfast. So I went and got some breakfast and stuff and whatever else. And I just thought, just something in my head said to me, check the app again. Checked it. 5 a.m. and I'm going, hang on here a wee second, this isn't fucking right. There's something not right here, like there really is something not right here. So anyway, I went on there, and the next minute I thought, I'll check news sources. But you know, a lot of news sources out there that I don't like. They kind of speed things up and make things fucking worse. The likes of BBC, Sky News and all them morons. So I went on to the likes of, other news sources, local news sources as well in London. And they started saying, all flights cancelled. And I'm going, here, hold on a wee second here. Something not fucking right here. What's going on? So I ended up having to go and check again. And then I finally thought, something, I'll go to BBC, I'll go to fucking Sky News, whatever. First thing, bang, all over their main page. Flights cancelled due to air traffic control. And then people were saying it was hacked into, and it crashed, and all these different stories you kept hearing throughout the day. And this was coming up to like lunchtime. So I'm sitting having a coffee with Lewis, and I says, Lewis, son, see, to be quite honest with you, I'm a little bit skeptical about this. I think we should go to the airport now just to find out. And he was like, what do you mean, Dad? I mean, we need to go to the airport. But Dad, I want to go to Oxford. Lewis, us getting home is more important than going fucking shopping in Oxford Street. I'm sorry, son. If need be, I'll bring you back to London in our time, but we need to go to this fucking airport. So we got this was around about 12:30ish. So went and jumped on a train, headed towards Stanstead Airport, Finally got to Stanstead Airport. Holy fucking shit, guys. We turned up at that airport and it was fucking mental. I mean, I posted a video on Facebook and Instagram of it and it was absolutely insane. The amount of people in that airport going nuts was I've seen Liverpool Airport quite busy. But I mean, fucking hell, man, Stanstead Airport. Apparently Gatwick was even worse. Luton Airport was as bad. So we get in and we see all these people. And just before we pulled up at the airport on the train, I got an email saying, Dear sir, your flight to Belfast International Airport has been cancelled. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you fucking serious? I'm like, are you actually serious? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So when you walk through the doors from coming off the train at Stanstead Airport, if you turn left, it's all Ryanair and all them. But if you turn right, it's EasyJet. And I'm like, right, so I'm thinking, I'm going to turn this corner here with Lewis, and the queue's going to be down the fucking... Because, guys, the queue for Ryanair, holy shit. I mean, you'd have been waiting there for at least 3 hours even to speak to someone. At least the queue, I'm not exaggerating, I'm not bullshitting you, the fucking queue at that airport was insane for Ryanair. I seen people standing crying, like, because their flights were cancelled, their holidays were cancelled. Hell, I even saw a soldier, a guy in his army, right? I don't know why he was going home to see family or something, crying. So anyway, this is the fucking best part. This is the part where I was nice and cool and calm and collective at this point. Even Lewis said to me, he says, Dad, I'm surprised you're not fucking worried and cracking up. And I was like, don't worry, we'll get sorted. But this is the part where I start flipping my shit. Not that I ever trying to, because I've worked in customer services before and I know how to deal with customers and angry customers and whatever else. But this is the good part. So we get up to EasyJet, turns the corner, I'm thinking, this queue is going to be fucking huge. And it was hardly anybody there. It was like, oh, you're a legend. Gets to the front of the queue, walks up to this guy and goes, excuse me, I says, my flight has been cancelled. 10:15, 10:20, whatever it is tonight, to Belfast. What's the situation? Oh, I apologise, sir, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing we can do. I says, well, here's the thing. I mean, we were in Liverpool a few weeks ago and our flight got cancelled. Our flight home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon was cancelled. They tried to get us onto a flight at 10 o'clock that night. Well, 9:30 is 10 o'clock. And they said if they couldn't get us onto that seat, they would put us up in the hotel for the night. Are you going to do the same thing for us today? I'm not sitting here from like this time of the day right through till tomorrow or whatever it is for a flight without having the hotel. We can't do that right now, sir. And I was like, you having a fucking laugh? I said, so when's the next flight? 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this is around about 1:30 in the afternoon. I mean, you want me to sit here till fucking 7 o'clock tomorrow morning with a 14-year-old wee lad to sleep on the fucking floor because there's no seats around here. Everywhere is taken. Round the corner, Ryanair is like a fucking... It's like a... What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a human... free for all. They're going nuts around there. They're fighting and people are in the queues and I wanted to be working for Ryanair. I mean, what about your customer services desk? No, he turned around and said to me, there's no point us calling them. I asked me why. He says because all the staff have walked out of the call centres. And I'm just standing there looking at him and I'm like, are you for real? All the staff have walked out of the call centres. And he says, yeah. And I went, okay, so now you're taking the piss. So when's this next flight? 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is the best bit part, guys. Listen to this. We can put you and your son on the flight tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. in Bristol. Now, can you imagine my reaction? I looked at him and I went, now, normally I'm nice and calm. Every time I'm calm, I know how to talk to people, know how to get things done because, I worked in retail for years, I worked in customer service for years, I worked in flipping call centres for a couple of years, I've worked in offices, I've worked with people, in my own job today, I work with people. And something just triggered me, and I just went, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning in Bristol, that's like a 5-hour drive away from here. How? I don't tend to swear, I don't swear on this podcast, and stuff. But whenever I'm trying to get something done, my motto is, if you're calm and collective and talk about the situation, it resolves it a lot quicker, instead of going like the younger me. If I could go back to the younger me, I'd have been slapping the head of myself and going, here, you calm yourself fucking down. But as I've got older over the years and different jobs that I've worked in, I've learned how to deal with things, situation properly, and talk about things. And the way this attitude of this guy was just horrendous, and it just triggered me, and I just went, are you fucking, I actually said to him, my words were, are you fucking serious? You want me to take my son 4 to 5, maybe longer hours? How the hell are we getting to Bristol? Or as a bus service, I'd say, it cost X amount of pounds. Are you going to pay for that? And he went, no. I mean, so you want me to pay more money out of my pocket to drive halfway across the fucking country near Wales? Because we stayed in Bristol last September when we went to the class at the castle in Cardiff. You want us to go to Bristol to get a flight home at 7 o'clock in the morning? Are you taking the piss? I mean, you have absolutely Bob hope and no hope of us doing that. That is ridiculous. No chance. You can do something else. And he was going on and on and on, and he was just being a real arrogant. After I sort of said to him about Bristol, I calmed myself down. I started looking, listen, there's bound to be something else you can do here. You know, we can't sit around here till like nearly a full day and a half waiting to get a flight home. Nothing. It's just, he had this attitude about him. And every time he tried to have a smart answer or tried to be sarcastic, I came back at him nice and calm with a smart answer back at him, and he didn't like it. So then he walked off and he called this other guy over. Funny enough, his name was Tony, funny enough. So he took us over to one side and he said, look, sir, what's your situation? Explained it to him. I said, look, listen, here's a bottom line. We're not staying here till like fucking stupid o'clock tomorrow or the day after. I need to get him home. I need to get home. There's a lot of our customers here who need to get home. There's bound to be something you can do. I understand all the flights have been cancelled. You just made an announcement saying it'll take about 24 hours. I understand that, but you can't expect people to sleep on a fucking floor. And I know I'm not the only one in this situation, but at the end of the day, you know, the old saying goes, look after number one. And that's why I came here early. It's not as if I'm walking in here at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm here like 6-7 hours early to try and resolve this matter. So what they said to me was they could book us into a flight back to Belfast 12 or 12:20 the next day. And I said, okay, so is EasyJet going to accommodate us for the night? Because it's more than a delay, it's a cancellation, and it's an overnight cancellation. You know what I mean? And we're going to be here for a long time. So he said to me that I had to go on, he sent me a link through an email to go on to this compensation page to EasyJet where they're going to refund me the price of my flights, which I can't see fucking happening because I'm still waiting for an answer back from the ones previously a few months ago. And they would also pay me for whatever expenses I paid for a hotel. So I was like, okay, well, if you're going to pay me back for the hotel and all, I'm cool with that. I don't mind going and spend the night in a hotel. It doesn't bother me. I'm used to staying in hotels. I said to Lewis, do you fancy an overnight here? We can go to a nice wee hotel somewhere and we'll go and chill out. And if there's a gym there, you can go and work out, whatever. And Lewis is like, that, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind. As long as I'm not sleeping on the floor. I was like, okay, cool. Now, as you know, we were there in July, flying back home. There was a Hampton by Hilton next door to it. We stayed in there start of July, just for a wee extra night to treat ourselves in a nice hotel. Lewis loved it because he got to go to the gym and stuff like that, and we had a lovely dinner and all there. The vlogs are on the YouTube channel if you want to go and watch them. But anyway, the point was I'm trying to make was we went on to try and book it, sold out. The Radisson Hotel, which is directly next door, we're showing rooms, but guys, the prices were £197 per room for one night. And I'm like, fuck me, this is crazy. I'm going to stick this on the credit card. What am I going to do? And it was like, right, okay. Tried to book it, sold out. Scroll down the page on booking.com. Every room as the prices went higher and higher and higher. Kept clicking them all, sold out. I was like, fuck. Man, I want to go have to jump on another train and travel for more miles. Anyway, managed to get a place about nearly 2 miles down the road. Nice wee place. It looked like a wee country hotel out in the middle of the countryside. It was not a bad wee spot. I've got a vlog of it coming out. I've done a wee tour of it in the vlog. This will be coming out today at some point. So we got this wee spot, and it was worked at about 100 quid or something like that there. It wasn't too bad. So anyway, we got it booked in. I said to the guy, look, listen, what I do, he says, get your booking reference number from that, get your reference number from this. You get onto this thing on your laptop, get the compensation form filled in, get it in now. They'll get back to you within 24 hours. They have up to 21 days legally by law to pay you back compensation. And I thought, okay, right, let's see how it goes from there. So I wasn't losing any money on the flight. We were going to a nice RV hotel, which was pretty decent enough. Like, it's not bad. It was just down the road. So, but the thing is, though, we had to ring the hotel and said, like, listen, how do we get to this place? Is there any, like, buses or Ubers? And Uber to it was, like, working out about fucking, I don't know, because it was from the airport, it was stupid money. I was like, no, Liz, we'll just ring the actual hotel. There had to be shuttle service, which they charged us a few quid to get there and back, which wasn't too bad. But we got there and we got a hotel and we got everything sorted out. But guys, as I was leaving there, the sights that I was seeing in that airport was incredible. You know, people crying, their holidays were cancelled, people working all year to go away on a family holiday, all being cancelled because of air traffic control. I even heard stories there was people still sitting on the planes outside on the runway. They were only in planes for a few hours. They couldn't even move off the plane. Like, imagine, I know it's okay when you're flying and you're moving and the flight's going and all there, but you're staying still and you're not even taking off. These were flights from all over the UK. People couldn't even fly back from other countries in Europe to get into the UK. Even back home here in Northern Ireland, there's people sitting on fucking runways for 5 and 6, 7 hours at a time before they can get people off the planes. The whole place just went to shutdown. And it was just fucking chaotic. It was just absolutely chaotic. And I'm glad that we took the initiative to go early to the airport, because I'll tell you another story. My cousin James and his two mates went to the wrestling show in London. Now, I was trying to look out for him and all, and I didn't even get a chance to see him. They flew over the flight after ours on the Sunday morning, but they flew home with they were supposed to fly home with Ryanair. Now, whenever we got to the airport and got everything sorted out and all, I was texting them saying, look, James, you need to check your flight for home tonight, because all Ryanair flights are cancelled. EasyJet's cancelled. Oh, ours is still showing us flying. Me, James, I'm telling you now, Ryanair's queues at this airport are fucking bedlam. I mean, they are bedlam. You need to get your ass to the airport now. Because he was in the middle of London on afternoon with his mates and out doing things. No, me, James, you need to get your fucking ass on the phone to Ryanair. So his flight was cancelled. And I felt so bad because he was telling me that him and his two mates turned up. And when they got to the airport, they were like, oh, your flight's cancelled and stuff like that. That's okay, fair enough. Your flight's completely cancelled. He told me they had to book a hotel 25 miles away from the fucking airport, which cost them 800 quid for the night, for the three of them. Then he had to rebook another flight with Ryanair to fly back to Dublin at 10:30 on the Tuesday night. Yeah. So he had to go and get another hotel, and then when he checked it out there, he went and spent the afternoon around London, again, killing time. I was texting him throughout the day on Tuesday whenever we had arrived home. He was still in London, and then when he got to the airport to fly home, his flight was fucking delayed. Now, his car was parked at Belfast International Airport, so he had to fly from London to Dublin, then get a bus from Dublin to Belfast International, or from to Belfast itself, then get another fucking bus to the international airport to pick up his car. And he was telling me yesterday he didn't get home till 5 a.m. Guys, it was insane. The airports were bedlam, and I mean they were fucking, and I'm glad I said this to Lewis, I'm sorry, a shopping trip in Oxford Street and everything else is the least priority right now. If we had walked in that airport at, say, 7:30 that night like we were supposed to, we wouldn't have got a hotel. We wouldn't have got a fucking flight home the next day. We'd have been sitting there, because if we hadn't have took that 12 o'clock flight, if they couldn't get us a seat in that 12 o'clock flight, we would have had to wait till Wednesday morning to get home. Which would have cost more money, more hassle, and it would have been an absolute nightmare. So, I'm glad we took the initiative to get there early, because if we hadn't got the initiative to get there early, we'd have been screwed. Simple. We'd have been screwed. We'd have been fucking screwed. We'd have been sitting there for God knows how long. And this podcast might not even been recorded today. I could have been still in bed sleeping now. It's a fucking nightmare, like. But the most important thing is, guys, always check when you're away. Keep checking apps, keep checking your emails, keep checking everything for flights, because in the blink of an eye, it could change. Now, I'm due to fly this Sunday morning. I'm going to a Liverpool game here on Sunday afternoon. And I've been checking all the flights and all. And yesterday I was checking them all. And then yesterday evening, I got an email back from EasyJet saying, we apologise for your service being delayed, blah, 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 blah. EasyJet is now running back as normal. I'm flying out at 7:30 on Sunday morning for the Liverpool game on Sunday afternoon, and if that flight's cancelled, I am going to be fucking going nuts. It's just a fucking nightmare. And I got flights booked for 2 flights booked in September. I've got flights booked in October. I've flights booked, I think it's November, and I've got flights booked for mum and dad in December when they go away for a week. But the fact is, guys, it just goes to show you that how important air traffic control is for an airport. And the amount of delays and stuff that I saw in that airport was great. It was insane. Now, coming back through the airport the next day to get back home was great. We walked straight into the airport through security in not even 10 minutes. Straight in the door, banging away. Walked in, because I had to write text to my cousin James again the day we were flying home. I mean, you need to check Ryanair again, because whenever we walk through the area we go through after security, all Ryanair flights that afternoon cancelled, delayed. I was like, oh fuck me, he's not going to get home. It was an absolute nightmare, guys. Honestly, just goes to show you, airports can be, I mean, 99.9% of the time I'm on a flight, I have no issues. I get through, not a problem. Apart from one time, I was in Liverpool, when was it, towards the end of last season it was, and they wouldn't let me through a certain item, but they sent it home to me, and that was it. Sent me home a different way. But it was just 99% of the time, guys, I get through the airport, no problem. No issue. But that guy, when I walked in that Stanstead airport, I just looked at Lewis, and it was like, oh, the Ryanair end, guys, I felt so bad for those. And here's another story. The night we were staying in the hotel on the Monday night, I said to Lewis, there's a restaurant downstairs, let's go and get some food. Because we're sitting here and we're fucking hungry and we need food. So we went down to the restaurant, which was lovely. I've done a vlog inside it, so you'll see it all coming up on the channel, guys. And we're sitting there, and the next minute, this family sitting across from us, and they have these 2 wee small kids, and they were so adorable. They were coming over and saying hello, and hello mister, how are you? They were so, the wee girl was so adorable, and she was so funny too and quick with it. She was like, what are you eating? And I says, I'm having my dinner. And she went, why? She was about 3-year-old, and she was just so adorable. And the mum and dad and all were lovely people. There was a crowd of them, or it was 2 families. Lovely people. Lovely people. English people. Beautiful people. Lovely and friendly. And Lewis was having a laugh at the wee boy and all. But we're sitting there anyway, and the next minute, one of the mums got up and her phone started ringing really loud. She got up and she walked out of the room, and I remember sitting there just sitting eating my food and having a couple of pints of water and stuff. Not beer, by the way. I was going to have a pint, but I didn't. Didn't have any alcohol the whole time I was away. I need a fucking drink today. Today's Thursday. It's beer day today, remember, guys? But anyway, point being, the next minute I heard this big almighty cry, and I'd seen this girl walking in. Liz will tell you. She walked in and sat down at the table, and she was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then, must have been her husband, he got up and took a phone off her, and he went away, and he came back, and he was like, it's fucking gone, it's gone, the fucking bastard is gone. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And the next minute I overheard him talking again loud and saying, the whole fucking holiday's cancelled. The Ryanair can't even get us a flight now for another 5-6 days. That's the fucking holiday cancelled, all the money down the tube and all. Blah, 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 blah. He was screaming. I was like, oh shit. All their family holiday was cancelled. So I felt sorry for that family. All the people had all their flights cancelled, all their holidays cancelled. People couldn't get flights for days after. It was just insane. And again, guys, I'm so glad that I took the initiative to go to that airport early. Because if I didn't, we'd have been screwed. God knows when I got home. God knows, probably Wednesday afternoon or something like that, yesterday afternoon. But the point is, it was chaos. But here's the thing though, I even had two ITV reporters, and I had a BBC guy on at me as well on social media saying, Matthew, could we interview you for TV because of X, Y, and Z, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no interest, not getting involved. In the past, I've done interviews and all for TV and all, and it just creates chaos, and I just couldn't be arsed with it all. I was like, nope, not interested today, guys. Thanks anyway. Can we use your footage? No. Go and get somebody else's. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm just staying away from all that crap. My main target and main goal right now is to get me and my son home. So we did. And here's the thing. As soon as we stepped off the plane, this is the fucking thing and piss. I love my job in football. I love it, but sometimes it fucking pisses me off. Mum and Dad have been loaded with the flu for the last couple of days, so Dad couldn't take us to the airport. So we had to we obviously get a friend to take us there, and then we had to make our own way home. So I said, Lewis, as soon as we get out of the airport, we'll jump on the bus to the city centre, and then we'll just jump on a train back home. But it was Tuesday night, and it was training at the ground, whatever else, and I forgot myself, shit, I was supposed to go up to the ground Tuesday night and do some photographs for new players and then headshots and all there. So I said to Lewis, right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go and get a bus from the airport to the city centre. We'll go into town, grab some food, we'll head over to the ground, and then we'll get some stuff done, then we'll head back. And just as I was on the bus from the international airport, the club secretary texts me and tries to ring me. The signal was shit, so I only text him instead. Says, we just signed a new player, could you get to the ground tonight? And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker, I just want to go home. So I had to go into town, which we did go into town, and called in a couple of shops, got some food and drinks. But I actually ran into a couple of viewers as well, one in particular, one called Kane, which I give a shout out to in the video, but I want to give a shout out to him in the podcast today as well, because he's a good kid. I met him outside of Primark at Belfast City Centre. We're just literally off the fucking flight. We were horrible, we were stinking and sweaty, and we needed to get fucking home. And I said to him, I apologised to him and all, and he was like, no, I just wanted to get a photo. And I was like, not a problem, Kane. I was talking away to him, he had to rush off to work. So Kane, if you're listening, I apologise, I was chittering on too much, I was overtired, I was just wanting to get home. But it was nice meeting him, nice kid. So then we got round, finally we had to go to Great Victoria Street Station to get a train across town, which the guy, I would say an older man, probably in his 50s, 60s, working behind the ticket office, recognised me and Lewis from YouTube, and he gave us a fucking train ticket for £2.50. Brilliant. He goes, don't be saying nothing, he says, love your videos. I'm like, oh mate, you're a star. The perks of YouTube. So we got to the ground, we got in, got two interviews done. So it is, by the way, my new camera, by the way, my new GoPro I'm filming on at the minute for my vlogs is fucking awesome, by the way. I love it. I absolutely love my GoPro. Unbelievable. Got two interviews done, got photographs all done, got everything to get done, and kindly our friend Mark brought us home. So we finally get home about 7:30 Tuesday night. And I had to come in and get loads of stuff done, get all the washing done, get everything all tidied up, get everything all put away. And by that stage, we were both punctured. And I said to myself, would I even have an hour to record a podcast on Tuesday night? Guys, not a fucking chance. I'd have been slurring words. I was tired. I was exhausted. I just wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to get an early night. I was fed up and I just wanted to go to bed. But it was an experience. And it's one we'll look back at and laugh. And the funny thing about it is, though, at the end of that big show we were at on Sunday night, they turn around and says, yes, we'll be back at Wembley Stadium this time next year. And I looked at Lewis on Tuesday night and I went, you're on your fucking own next year, your dad's not going with you. But overall, no, guys, it was an experience. And I felt kind of bad, though, to get to see Oxford Street for Lewis. Wanted to go to see all the big shop stores and things like that, but we'll do it eventually. I said to him, we'll try and get over to London before the end of the year. But it was an experience along the way, and it was just one of those ones that I'll never forget. But I'm back on my travels again this weekend. As I said, I'm going to watch Liverpool playing fucking Sunday. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to getting back to Anfield for the first time this season. Hopefully 3 times this month, fingers crossed. Hopefully getting to Liverpool 3 times this month. Well, twice, but 3 matches in a month. Figure that one out. It's a strange one, like. But anyway, I just thought I'd share my experiences, what I've been up to since the last time I spoke to you. It's just been absolutely K-fucking-otic. So it has, guys. So starting next Tuesday, the podcast will be back to normal. We're talking about all the things that are going on in the world, answering your questions, and then next Thursday we'll be doing Jackass of the Week and doing all the other stuff as well. Because, guys, honestly, as I said to you, I sat down this morning and I got my first coffee this morning. I sat and I thought, right, I got so much to rant about EasyJet, and I got stuff to talk about the whole experience of being stranded in the airport. And I rang. I'm talking here now. I'm looking at this machine here, like nearly 45 minutes. I've been talking to you already. It's fucking madness. So it is absolutely madness. But it's an experience that'll I'll look back on and laugh in a few years' time. Anyway, guys, I asked you on social media yesterday to get in touch with me about the podcast today. Asked me a couple of questions, and just asking questions about different things they got there, and saying to me, I asked you to send me a couple of questions about today's podcast, what do you want to talk about, and whatever else. So some of you did send me some questions, and I'm going to get through to them now. So, but if you do want to contact me for future episodes, you can by the email and all the social media, mirrorarmypodcast@yahoo.com, and all my social media platforms. You can contact me for future episodes, guys, as well. I'll go on the Instagram first of all today, guys, because I've got quite a few from Instagram, but I'll take one or two out here, and then I'll go into the emails and then the Facebook. So I want to get this podcast out today, because I got a lot on today, guys. I got vlogs to edit, I've got other things to do, and I'm actually kind of wait till tonight just to sit down, turn off my phone, just switch everything off, pop a top on a cold beer, and just sit there and just switch off. Just switch off. And then I'm nothing on tomorrow and Friday. I'm a big football game on Saturday against Portadown. By the way, guys, if you're in Belfast on Saturday, come watch the Wellers against Portadown. 3 o'clock kickoff at our ground, if you're there. And then on Sunday, I'm with Liverpool. So I just want this next few days just to sort of be nice and calm. But let's get into some of your questions on Instagram first of all. Right, regular listener here, Ryan Macaulay, who listens to the podcast quite regularly because he does send me quite a lot of messages, Ryan. I do read them. He says, "Hi Matthew, I can't believe it's been 2 months. I can't believe it's 2 months until Halloween. Question for tomorrow's podcast: if you had a time machine, what year would you travel to? I would travel to the year 2030 to see if the world's still going crazy as it is today. Kind regards, Ryan." Fucking 2 months to Halloween. Don't even remind me. Lewis is back to school tomorrow as well, guys. It's annoying too as well. Lewis is back to school tomorrow. And also, here's the thing, guys. No, nothing to talk about. Brooke left school last week. I haven't talked about that either. Do you know something? I may even say to Brooke about coming on the podcast on Tuesday and talk about her experiences at school. Because Brooke's officially left school now, and she's going on to college for 2 years to do other things, and she's getting never so closer to the job that she always wants to work as a classroom assistant in school. So I'll say to her today about coming on Tuesday, guys, because she's left school there last week. So the baby girl's all growing up, and Lewis starts back to school tomorrow. But anyway, enough on that next week. But anyway, yes, 2 months to Halloween. Yes, Ryan, I know, 2 months to Halloween. It's fucking crazy. Where has the time gone? Like, I remember was it 2 years ago we had the big Halloween party here. Mum and Dad and me and Brooke and Lewis and Sandra was here, and it was a thing to look back at with great memories. I didn't even vlog that night either. Dad was dressed up as a beer bottle. Lewis was dressed up. Mum was dressed up as a witch. Brooke was dressed up as something, I can't remember what it was now. And Sandra and I were dressed up two things from the Addams Family. She was the mum, and I was Uncle Fester. I know, it was a good time. So it was. I wish I had a vlog that night, guys, because that was a really, really good night. So it was. Now you asked me if I had a time machine, where would I go to? If I had a time machine, I would go back to. It's hard to say. There's a couple of moments in my life I'd love to go back to again. Because funny enough, I was talking to my friend who's no longer with us anymore, his sister, a few weeks ago. We were talking about memories about me and him being together when we were kids. I'll go back to that time as well, and I would have spent more time with him and done more things together, and I don't know. And then go back in time, the remember Brooke and Lewis were smaller, and I would go back in time, certainly the time whenever I was at primary school and secondary school where I was being bullied, and I wouldn't stand and take that fucking bullshit from those wee bastards anymore. Excuse my language again, I don't even know why I'm saying it, but that's exactly what they were. They were horrible people to me. We talked about bullying a few weeks ago on the podcast, guys, and my experiences, it was flipping horrible, so it was, between being beaten up and trying to set me on fire and beat me with fire extinguishers and fired fire extinguishers all over, tried to set fire to my hair and just beat the shit out of me on a regular basis. That was horrible. If we could go back in time now, them wee fuckers wouldn't touch me now. I tell you that for free. I'd have them strung up in the neck. Bullying, it's more physical bullying back then than what it is now. It's all more sort of like online and mental bullying and mental health bullying and all that and all that. It's just a whole thing. But there's just a few things I'll go back to. You know what I mean? Just a few things I go back. And obviously the first day Brooke was born, and first time I became a dad, first time Liz was born, my first job, spending more time with my old friend. I don't know, there's just a few things in my life I wish I could go back and change. Really is a few things I wish I could go back and change. Don't get me wrong, I'd never change Brooke and Lewis. Hell fucking no. As much as they are a little bit annoying sometimes, literally, because they're teenagers. But that was to be expected. But no, there's a lot of things in my life I'd go back and change. I really, really would be. But Ryan, thanks for your question, mate. I appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in every single week. Because I know you love the podcast, so I do appreciate it, mate. Thanks for tuning in every week. I do appreciate it. We have another one here from Liam Davis. He's got a Liverpool badge on his Instagram. Good lad. Liam Davis says on Instagram, "Hi Matthew, how you doing? I've been away travelling there for a few months, and I came across some of your recent vlogs as well because I haven't been catching up with them lately. I saw you had an accident in Blackpool on your holiday. How is your foot doing after your holiday? Also been catching up with some of your recent vlogs before the summer and also listening to some of your podcasts. Keep up the great work. I was away travelling through Australia over the last few months, which was an absolute nightmare, especially with all this COVID bullshit apparently starting to re-arise again, which I think is a load of nonsense. What's your view on that? Keep up the good work. Love listening to the podcast every week, Liam." Thanks, Liam. I appreciate it. Yeah, don't even get me started on that fucking COVID crap again. I've been reading about that again lately. Oh, don't even get me started. Do not even get me fucking started on that. So you've been doing a bit of travelling yourself, so yeah, I heard Australia is a bit of a hard place to travel around at the minute, so it is, but yeah, I hope you had a good time, and hope you get back home safe. My foot is still, believe it or not, weeks later, it's still throbbing, still a bit sore, but I'm doing okay. Can't complain, I'm doing alright, so I'm hanging in there, should we say. Cannot complain at all. Right, let's get into another one here. But thanks for your message. I do appreciate it, Liam. And a good fact that say Liverpool badge on your Instagram, which is a good thing. I'll do one more Instagram here before I head on here. Right, I have one here from Ian on Instagram. Ian says, "Hi Matthew, question for your podcast for tomorrow. I see you posted on Instagram the chaos at Stanstead Airport. My mum and dad were stranded in Glasgow Airport a few weeks ago with the same problem with Ryanair. My opinion is we will never fly with Ryanair again. I assume you flew with EasyJet as you always fly with them for your Liverpool games. Hope you got home safe. Take care. Keep up the good work." Yes, well, I've just talked about everything there. I only flew with Ryanair once there, not that long ago, with Lewis, and it was okay. I mean, I never had really much of a bother with them, to be quite honest. But a lot of people out there I've seen on social media now saying they're not going anywhere near fucking Ryanair now. Do you blame them? I would probably be the same, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't go anywhere near freaking Ryanair after all that stuff. Only fly with them if I need to. But anyway, thanks for your question. I do appreciate it as always. Right, let's get into some of your Facebook questions here. Right, I have one here from, let's have a look here. Well, one here actually from quite a while back actually. What's the name on it here? Oh, here, no, it's a spam message. Oh, I fucking hate them. See them messages you click on Facebook and they go, "Oh, we can sell you a service to get you new followers, or we can get your page to grow." How about no, as Lewis would say. How about no? No thank you, no interest. Thank you very much, goodbye. Right. I fucking hate that. Instagram's the worst for that. Anybody out there gets that on Instagram all the time, You know, because I get a good bit of traffic coming through my Instagram all the time. I get all these messages from all these pages from, like, I don't know, India and America and all. Yeah, I'm a digital marketer. I can get your page 5,000 new followers inside a week. Only if you pay this. Aye, hold on. Wait and I will. I'll pay them all, sure. Right, I've got one here from David on Facebook. David says, "Hi Matthew, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well during the summer holidays. I've had a pretty quiet summer myself, just spending a lot of time working on my house, as the weather has been crap and me and my kids and my wife has not travelled very much this year. We were going to go on summer holiday to England, but we're glad we didn't because of all the horrible weather that we've had. We are from Coleraine, and we were at the Coleraine versus Harnowith Welders game during the summer, and we saw you and Lewis on the side of the pitch. We were going to approach you, but we didn't want to bother you because we'd seen that you were quite busy with the team. Our two boys are absolutely obsessed with your YouTube channel, and we're dying to meet you that day. But as I said, we did not want to bother you that day. We hope to meet you sometime soon. Maybe the Welders will be drawn with Coleraine in a cup or something, or if you get promoted to the Premier League, we'll get to see you then. Hope you have had a great summer. Sorry to hear about your recent travel issues, as I saw it on your Instagram and Facebook over the last few days. Take care, hope to meet you down the road, and have a good season with the Welders. Come on, the Coleraine." And he writes a wee laughing emoji at the end. Oh, well, here, they should have come up and said hello to us in the summer. God, it would have been nice to see you. Good God. I always says to people, if you see me in public, come up and say hello. Don't be afraid. Oh, yeah. Well, tell your two boys I said hello. If they're listening to the podcast now, hello, boys. How you doing? And I hope they get to meet you very, very soon. Thank you for all your support and love towards the channel. It means a lot to us here in the Moore family. But yes, hope you have a great season yourself, Coleraine. I like Coleraine. Good club. Good people. The manager's a nice guy too as well. I chat to him every time I see him. Some good players there as well. And Coleraine is a nice wee place as well. So looking forward to getting back down there again. Maybe get drawn down there in a cup or something this year. Or maybe use a cup the our place for the cup match or something like that. I don't know. Or if we get promoted to the Premier League this year, you never know. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you for your message. I do appreciate it. Right, I'll do one more Facebook and then I'll jump on to the emails here. Facebook message here from Stephen. Another Stephen. I get a lot of Stevens here on this channel. Stephen and Michael. It's a joint message. Hey Matthew, how you doing? This is a message from myself and my friend. We're wanting to set up a podcast. We have been listening to your podcast from the very start, and we know you've been giving advice to other people about podcasts, but we'd like to see if you could give some advice to us. We are looking to set up a podcast on rugby, and we're wanting to know how to go about it, how to get started, how to build an audience, and more. Also, are you a fan of rugby? If so, we'd like to have you on the podcast sometime as a guest. What's your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear you mention what your thoughts are on the game of rugby. Many thanks for your help. I do appreciate it. Love your podcast. Keep up the good work. Guys, as I said to you before, I've said to other people as well, if you need, I'll send you a wee message back after I get off the air here today. It's pretty straightforward to set up a podcast. Obviously, to build an audience, you have to work at it. Just keep plugging away every week. Social media is a big key platform to promote your podcast as well. Rugby is me. Not a big fan of rugby, to be quite honest with you. I don't watch rugby a lot. I've never really been into rugby very much. Certainly, I will come on to your podcast if you want me to come on sometime. We'll try to arrange something. I'm not a massive fan of rugby, but would I be a really good guest on your podcast? I mean, you'd be sitting there talking about different things, and I'd be looking at you going, "What the fuck's he saying?" I'll certainly drop you an email back after this recording today to give you a few tips and stuff like that there, because at the end of the day, it's always good to have a good podcast to listen to. Not that I really rate my podcast to be really, really good. It's just me sitting ranting and raving every fucking week. It's like being in therapy. It really is, trust me. But yeah, keep up the good work. Keep up the good worker. Keep plugging away. I'll give you a few tips how to get set up and stuff, and what stuff to use for, uploading your podcast and how to promote your podcast and how to get it on certain platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and whatever else. Yeah, certainly no problem at all. I'll send you some details across after I get off the air today. But good luck with your podcast, guys. But would I really be a good guest if I don't really watch rugby that much? Maybe they could bring me on. We'll just sit and talk shit for an hour. I don't know. I'll be in touch with you guys shortly. Thanks for your message. I appreciate it. Right, let's move on to the email here. mirrorarmypodcast@yahoo.com. Right, let's get into one here on the email. Let's see here from Peter and Denise. Peter and Denise. Even their email says Peter and Denise. Must be a married couple. Hi Matthew, how you doing? Greetings from Hampshire. Oh, hello. Why, hello Hampshire. Just wanted to say hi and say that we love listening to your podcast every single week. We have just recently bought our first home over a year ago, and we are doing a lot of hard work to it recently. We've just recently found out as well that my wife is expecting our first child. Ah, isn't that lovely? Just wanted to ask you for some advice on parenting, and also what is your memories of buying your first house and setting up for the first time ever. Thanks for all your content every single week. We love it. My wife especially loves your daughter, as she thinks she's beautiful, smart, and she looks forward to seeing her progress even further in her life. And I'm hoping one day she gets to have the career that she deserves, because she is such a good kid. Oh, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Well, there you go. There are, guys. You bought your first home a year ago, now your wife's pregnant. Congratulations. All I can say to you is, when your baby's first born, enjoy it. When the child gets on its feet, start nailing things down. I mean that. Start nailing things down, because babies like to grab things and pull things. I'm kidding. Anyway, yes. Honestly, guys, congratulations on the baby news. Brilliant. You bought your first house. What's my memories about my first house? Jesus, man. Whoa. God, I remember signing for my first house 2004. We didn't move in until early 2005 in January. Because obviously the paperwork had to go through and all the stuff and bits and pieces out there. I wish I still had that house. I really do, guys. I mean, I would have almost owned that house outright now. My mortgage was 20 years, and it was 18 years ago I bought that house. And I can't even describe when I think back to that time in 2005 when I first moved in there, or late 2004, early 2005, because we get married not long after that in February, myself, Brooke and Lewis's mum. And then Brooke came along in November. 2005 was an incredible year. Liverpool won the European Cup that year. I moved into my first own home. I got married in February. Brooke came in November. And the fact that I look back at that, and that's 18 years ago, scares the holy crap out of me. I have great memories of that wee house, and that was a time in my life where I was happy. I had everything that I've always wanted. I had a wife. I had a good job. I had, well, not money in the bank as much as now, but I had my own home. I had my first baby. I had everything. And the only thing I really have out of that now is Brooke. And she's 18 this year. And it's scaring the shit out of me. So my advice to you is, guys, you bought your first home. You're doing a lot of work to it, as you said in your email. Keep up the good work. Keep working hard in your home. Put your own stamp on it. Make it your own home. When your baby comes along, cherish it. Trust me. 1 minute they're born, the next minute they're walking, the next minute they're at primary school, the next minute they're in secondary school, and then the next minute they're gone. If I could turn back the clock today, I would change so much now. As I said, I would just, Duran there earlier on that email or Instagram message, enjoy it. You're at a stage now in your life. I don't even know what age you are. You're probably young. For all I know, you are. I got married when I was 23. I wish I could go back to old me then and say, right here, stop and smell the roses, because the time goes by so quick. Guys, all I can say to you is, your first home, put your own mark on it, and when it comes to your baby, spend as much time, even if that baby's driving you nuts and you're walking the floors at 2 and 3 in the morning, pulling your fucking hair out and going, I can't sleep, this baby won't go to sleep, blah 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 blah. It's worth it. Trust me. Spend every moment with your baby, whether it's boy or girl, whatever it is, as long as it's healthy. Honestly, because time goes by too fucking quick. Trust me, it goes by in an instant. I miss my two being small. Like, I go back now and watch 7 years ago on the old vlog 7 years ago, and I look at that and go, what the hell happened to my babies? They're gone. They're not babies anymore. So good luck to the both of you. I hope that you have a great future ahead of you. Keep in touch with me. Let me know how you're getting on with your house and the baby. And you didn't even say how far on pregnancy she is. Let me know when the baby comes. Keep in touch, because I love hearing these stories. I mean, I had a couple months ago, you probably remember back in previous episodes, where they were saying about they were debating over which room to decorate a certain way, and I said to them, depends on how many rooms there is in the house. There's 4 rooms to decorate. You pick 2, she picks 2, compromise, whatever it is. And that couple stays in touch with me all the time, sending me pictures. Oh, we just done this to this room and done that to that room. I love this. This podcast I fucking love. So yes, keep me posted how you're getting on, and good luck with the baby. It's a time of your life where it's exciting, but all I can say to you is stop for a minute and smell the roses and enjoy it, because it goes by too quick. Trust me, it flies by. But anyway, good luck to the both of you, and thank you for your email. It really does mean a lot to me. It's emails like this, guys, that I love. You know what I mean? I just love emails like this. But anyway, I'll do one more email before I head down the road today, guys. Alright, let's have a look here and see. One here from Charles. Charles is from, let's have a look here and see, Southport. Oh, one of my wee favourite spots. Charles from Southport. Hello, Charles. How are you? Thank you for your email. It says, hello, Matthew. How you doing? Just wanted to give you a wee email to say hi. Came across your YouTube channel, and then recently your podcast as well. I came across your YouTube channel 2 months ago as I was just searching one night on my laptop videos of Southport, and came across your YouTube channel. All I can say is that what you've done in Southport only scratches the surface. There's still so much stuff to do in Southport, and I hope that you get to experience that the next time you visit our wonderful little town. Myself and my wife are both from Southport. We are both approaching the age of 70. Oh my God. And we absolutely adore your videos. We love your mum and dad, especially your dad with his quick Northern Irish quick wit attitude. We hope he's keeping well, by the way, after his recent health scare. Thank you very much, Charles. He goes on here to say, also, the kids have grown up so much over the years throughout the vlogs, and I hope next time your visit to Southport is as fun as your previous ones. P.S. Just check for more things to do in Southport, as there is plenty more to do. We are glad that you love our little town and consider it one of your favourite places, as you've mentioned in your vlogs many a time before in the past. All the best, Charles. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? I love it. Thank you very much. You're nearly 70, Charles. You're still young. Still a pup. Still a puppy. Unlike my mum. My mum's what, 60... 62, she'll be 63 here in December, and she's ready for the fucking knackers yard. Mum still has that mindset of the 1970s. Whenever people turn 60, you're an old age pensioner and you're ready for the knackers yard. And I keep telling her, Mum, there's people in your age are still fucking travelling the world and jumping out of airplanes and climbing mountains and living their life, and you're sitting in there going, I need my wee shawl, my wee blanket now, when to the care home. No. Mum's old school. But anyway, everybody's different. No offence, Mum. Love you loads. But Charles, thanks for your email. And I hope you and your good lady's doing well. And I hope they get back to Southport soon, because I love Southport. I fucking love Southport. In fact, I'm actually hopefully having an extended stay at the end of this month in Liverpool. From a Sunday game into I think it's a Wednesday game, I think it is, in the Cup, or Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever it is. So I think I'll have a day spare, maybe just take a wee trip up to Southport. I love Southport. It's a beautiful place, guys, honestly. The pier is amazing. So huge and big. Lewis loves the arcades, the seafront, the shops, the people. It's just a lovely, lovely seaside town. And I cannot wait to get back to Southport. Love Southport. And on a clear blue sky day, when you're at the very end of the massive pier in Southport, you can actually see Blackpool Tower, which is awesome. Because whenever we were there in March for Lewis's birthday weekend, and Sandra was there too as well, I took Sandra right down to the end of the pier and showed her Blackpool Tower. She couldn't believe it. She was like, "What? Here's Blackpool. Right over there. You can see it." Awesome. So yes, I will be back there. And Charles, once again, thank you for your email. I do appreciate it. But guys, that's going to bring us to the end of this podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to me rant and rave and talk nonsense as usual. As I said to you, on Tuesday, I will be back as normal. Even though Tuesday's going to be another busy day for me, I've got a big, huge football match on Tuesday night as well. But I'll be recording this podcast on Tuesday morning. Stay tuned for that. I got loads more videos coming out on the YouTube channel, guys, coming up. Jesus. I'm going to be dropping one here after I record this today, and then I got another one to edit, and then I'm going to put the Our London one out from July as well. I got more to record, I got loads to do, and then tonight I'm going to be sitting down with a cold beer, feet up, chilled out, radio on, switch my phone off, and talk to fucking nobody. After this week if I had her, guys, I'd be pulling it out. So it would be. But anyway, once again, guys, I will see you back on Tuesday. If you have any questions for the podcast on Tuesday, don't forget to contact me on all the social media feeds and also the email, which is mirrorarmypodcast@yahoo.com. I'll be sitting down probably tonight as well, answering a few back some of your emails and questions over the last couple of days that you've been sending to me. I do appreciate every single one of them. It does mean a lot to me. I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yes, thank you for all your support. Don't forget to check out all the vlogs from London this past week. Please, guys, I know you're not a wrestling fan. Please go and check out the Wembley Stadium vlog. It's fucking awesome, the experience we had. You see Lewis and I standing in the middle of the pitch at Wembley Stadium singing our hearts out. Oh, what an experience, Wembley Stadium. The new Wembley Stadium's awesome compared to the old one. Please go and check them out as well. Right, guys, until the next one, I'll see you back here on Tuesday for another episode of the Mirror Army Podcast. Enjoy your weekend, by the way. And I'll see you here back on Tuesday for another episode of the Mirror Army Podcast. Thank God. Where's the beer? I need a beer. Check, please. I need a beer. Where is it? Get that bottle open over here. I'm only kidding. See you on Tuesday, guys. Thanks for listening.